The key to personal growth is to surround yourself with people who uplift you and bring out your best qualities. Identifying false relationships can be challenging, much like distinguishing a mirage from an oasis in the vast desert of human interaction. In a world full of meetings and mismatches, where masks of cordiality and self-interest are often worn, discovering who truly cares for us requires both intuition and a keen eye. Sometimes, we place too much trust in others' goodness and goodwill, only to realize we're being used. Like a skilled gardener who knows how to distinguish between nourishing plants and those that deplete soil nutrients, we must learn to identify our true allies and recognize emotional parasites in our lives. Today, we'll explore subtle signs and less obvious patterns that reveal hidden intentions behind forced smiles and empty promises. If you're here, it's because you care about personal development. In this video, we'll discuss the wisdom of deciphering these human enigmas, paving the way for more authentic and rewarding relationships. Make sure to watch until the end, as every piece of content is crucial. Stay strong and focused. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's dive in. 15. Failure to fulfill promises. Making and breaking promises is akin to a theatrical performance where words are the actors and actions are the neglected script. These individuals have mastered verbal persuasion, painting vivid pictures of commitment and support. However, their words often lack the substance of action. They create expectations with the flourish of a painter, but when the time comes to turn these painted dreams into reality, they falter, revealing the emptiness of their assurances. A pattern emerges in such relationships. When their support is most needed, these individuals often vanish, leaving a void filled with disappointment and disillusionment. This absence in times of need isn't just a breach of trust, it's a clear indicator of their true motivations. Their promises are tools for manipulation, designed to extract value, trust, or support without any intention of reciprocation. Failure to fulfill promises becomes a litmus test, distinguishing those who value mutual respect and support from those who see relationships merely as avenues for personal gain. For those left in the lurch, the experience brings a painful but valuable lesson. Not all promises are built on honesty and integrity. 14. Erosion of self-esteem through diminutive remarks. Individuals who habitually use others as stepping stones are adept at deploying diminutive remarks to erode self-esteem, confidence, and the sense of self-worth in their targets. These comments, sometimes cloaked in humor or casual banter, are barbed hooks designed to pull down rather than uplift. They trivialize successes, scoff at aspirations, or appear disinterested and unresponsive to struggles and challenges. This behavior is akin to subtle psychological warfare. By systematically undervaluing your achievements and aspirations, these individuals create an imbalance in the relationship. It's a calculated move to ensure you remain in a position of self-doubt and diminished self-esteem, making you more susceptible to manipulation and control. In their eyes, your diminished self-worth elevates their status, solidifying their dominance in the relationship. Such disdainful remarks often reflect their insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. By belittling others, they mask their vulnerabilities and project a facade of superiority. Recognizing and understanding this pattern is crucial. It enables you to see through the superficial charm such individuals often wear and understand the underlying toxic dynamics of the relationship. It serves as a warning to either address the behavior directly, setting clear boundaries, or to distance yourself from such a toxic environment. 13. Unilateral benefit. Unilateral benefit can manifest in various aspects of a relationship: financial, emotional, or practical. Financially, the user may frequently borrow money or resources with promises of repayment that never materialize. Emotionally, they might lean heavily on the other for support, validation, and attention, yet offer little to nothing in return when the roles are reversed. Practically, they habitually seek favors or assistance, but are conspicuously absent or too busy when their counterpart needs help. This one-sidedness is akin to a parasitic relationship in nature, where one organism benefits at the expense of the other. The user, like a parasite, draws nourishment, emotional, financial, or practical support, without contributing equally or adequately to the well-being of their host. Over time, this lack of reciprocity depletes the giver's resources, leaving them drained and unfulfilled. The motives behind unilateral benefit are often rooted in deep-seated self-centeredness and a lack of empathy. The user views relationships through a transactional lens, assessing interactions based on what they stand to gain rather than what they can contribute. This fundamentally flawed approach overlooks the inherent value of mutual respect, support, and give and take. Identifying this pattern requires a discerning eye, recognizing the persistent lack of reciprocity and the feeling of being perpetually shortchanged in the relationship. It calls for an honest assessment of whether the interactions leave you feeling valued and respected or used and undervalued. 12. Disregard for your needs or feelings. This behavior, where one's emotional landscape is consistently ignored or devalued, is akin to tending a garden where only one flower is allowed to bloom while the others are neglected. In such interactions, the user's needs and desires are prioritized while yours are sidelined or dismissed. Their actions and words become the shears that trim away at your emotional well-being, leaving you feeling undervalued and invisible in the relationship. This disregard can manifest in various forms. They might routinely overlook your emotional needs, failing to provide support or understanding when you are vulnerable or in need. They may be indifferent to your opinions and choices, drowning out your voice with their dominating narrative. They may neglect to acknowledge your achievements or, worse, minimize your struggles, making light of the issues that weigh heavily on you. Such behavior is not merely insensitive. It's a calculated neglect, a tool used to maintain an upper hand in the relationship. By invalidating your feelings and needs, the user creates an environment where your self-worth is undermined, making you more susceptible to their influence and control. It is a form of emotional manipulation, subtly executed but with significant impact. This dynamic is particularly damaging because it strikes at the very core of one's emotional well-being. The need to be heard, understood, and valued is fundamental. When these needs are repeatedly ignored, it can lead to a decline in self-esteem and a feeling of isolation, even when you are in a seemingly active relationship. To navigate such waters, it is essential to recognize the signs of emotional neglect. This awareness becomes a beacon, guiding you away from relationships where your emotional well-being is at risk and towards connections where reciprocity, respect, and mutual care are foundational pillars. 11. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation often starts insidiously, with the manipulator presenting themselves as caring and attentive. However, this facade quickly morphs into a mechanism for inducing feelings of anxiety, inadequacy, or guilt in their target. They become adept at pushing emotional buttons, praising to elevate you when it suits their purpose, then sharply criticizing or undermining you to create self-doubt and dependency. Consider the analogy of a gardener and a delicate plant. A caring gardener nurtures, providing just the right amount of water and sunlight. In contrast, the emotional manipulator, like a negligent gardener, alternates between overwatering and leaving the plant to wither in drought. They use emotional extremes to destabilize, creating an environment where the target becomes emotionally dependent, constantly seeking the manipulator's approval and validation to regain that initial sense of warmth. This manipulation often targets the core of one's emotional well-being. They may trivialize your accomplishments or magnify your failures to keep you in a perpetual state of self-doubt. They might twist situations to make you feel guilty for normal actions, shifting the blame to ensure you are always the one apologizing. In relationships where emotional manipulation is at play, the balance of power is always skewed. The manipulator holds the reins, deciding when to offer affection and when to withdraw it, keeping their target off balance. This dynamic is not about mutual growth or support. It's about feeding the manipulator's needs at the expense of the other's emotional health. Identifying emotional manipulation requires a keen awareness of these dynamics. It involves recognizing the patterns of interaction where one's feelings are consistently toyed with and calls for introspection to understand how these interactions affect one's sense of self and emotional well-being. 10. Lack of genuine interest in your well-being. Envision a tree in a vast forest. Ideally, it is supported by the surrounding trees and undergrowth, receiving nutrients, shelter, and the companionship of a thriving ecosystem. Now imagine a tree standing alone in a barren landscape, with no other flora to offer support or protection. This is akin to being in a relationship with someone who lacks genuine interest in your well-being. You stand alone, unsupported, your branches reaching out for camaraderie that never comes. In such relationships, your goals, projects, and challenges are met with apathy or token gestures of support. This person may nod along to your plans, offer a half-hearted good luck, or even verbalize support, but their actions, or lack thereof, speak louder. When it comes to tangible assistance, meaningful advice, or even a listening ear during tough times, their presence is conspicuously absent. Their help, if offered, tends to be superficial, more a matter of form than substance, and often evaporates when needed most. The reason behind this lack of genuine support is rooted in their focus on self-interest. Your successes or failures, your challenges, are of interest only insofar as they affect them or their goals. They view relationships through a transactional lens, where emotional investment is calculated based on potential personal returns. This attitude creates an imbalance where one party continuously gives, be it effort, care, or resources, while the other takes, often leaving the giver feeling undervalued and emotionally exhausted. Recognizing this pattern involves not just noting the absence of support, but understanding its implications. A relationship devoid of genuine interest in your well-being is one-sided and inherently flawed. It undermines the fundamental premise of mutual support and respect that sustains healthy human connections. 9. Surface-level charm. At first glance, these individuals exude charisma and charm, much like a perfectly manicured garden that dazzles with vibrant colors and meticulous design. This initial appeal draws people in, captivating their interest and trust. However, beneath this charming exterior lies a lack of genuine depth and authenticity. Surface-level charm is often a calculated facade, designed to mask the user's true intentions. It involves a display of social graces, compliments, and engaging conversation that makes one feel special and valued. But this charm is often shallow, lacking the substance and sincerity of true friendship or partnership. It is a tool of manipulation, used to build rapport quickly and gain trust and favor without the commitment of genuine emotional investment. Over time, this veneer of charm can begin to crack. As interactions deepen, it becomes apparent that this person is more interested in maintaining their appealing exterior than in forming a genuine connection. Their conversations may lack depth, their compliments may start to feel hollow, and their actions may not align with their words. This inconsistency reveals their true nature, interested in benefiting from the relationship without investing in its mutual growth and support. This pattern of behavior is particularly damaging because it can be challenging to recognize at first. The initial charm can create a strong impression, making it difficult to see the underlying superficiality. It takes time and a closer examination of their actions and consistency to uncover the truth. 8. Excessive flattery. Excessive flattery is a strategy used by those with self-serving intentions to win favor and influence. Imagine a silver-tongued charmer who showers you with praise, complimenting everything from your appearance to your abilities with a seemingly endless stream of adulation. While genuine compliments can be uplifting and affirming, excessive flattery often feels overwhelming and insincere, like a sugary treat that's too sweet to be palatable. This tactic serves to lower your defenses, making you more susceptible to their influence. By appealing to your ego and desire for validation, the flatterer creates a sense of obligation or gratitude, subtly positioning themselves to ask for favors, support, or concessions. The excessive praise is not a reflection of their true admiration, but a tool to manipulate your perception and response. Recognizing this behavior involves being attuned to the frequency and context of the compliments. Are they offering praise that feels genuinely earned and specific, or are they making sweeping statements that seem designed to butter you up? Do their compliments align with their actions, or is there a disparity between their words and their willingness to support or stand by you when needed? Excessive flattery is a red flag indicating a potential hidden agenda. It suggests that the relationship is built on a foundation of manipulation rather than mutual respect and genuine appreciation. 7. Emotional distance. Emotional distance in relationships can be likened to a cold, sterile room devoid of warmth and comfort. When someone maintains emotional distance, they withhold true intimacy and connection, creating a barrier that prevents genuine closeness. This distance manifests in their reluctance to share personal thoughts and feelings, or to engage deeply with your emotional experiences. Individuals who keep an emotional distance often do so to maintain control and avoid vulnerability. By not fully investing emotionally, they protect themselves from potential hurt while keeping you at arm's length, ensuring they can withdraw without significant repercussions when it suits them. This dynamic creates a relationship that feels one-sided and unbalanced, where your emotional needs are unmet and their true feelings remain obscured. This behavior can be particularly confusing and hurtful, as it often coexists with moments of apparent closeness and connection. The inconsistency can leave you feeling uncertain and questioning the depth of their commitment and affection. Recognizing this pattern requires paying attention to the frequency and depth of emotional engagement. Are they consistently open and supportive, or do they retreat and become distant when emotional stakes are high? Emotional distance is a significant indicator of a relationship's potential fragility and lack of genuine commitment. It highlights the need for open communication and a willingness to address and bridge the emotional gap. 6. Erosion of self-esteem through diminutive remarks. Individuals who habitually use others as stepping stones are adept at deploying diminutive remarks to erode self-esteem, confidence, and the sense of self-worth in their targets. These comments, sometimes cloaked in humor or casual banter, are barbed hooks designed to pull down rather than uplift. They trivialize successes, scoff at aspirations, or appear disinterested and unresponsive to struggles and challenges. This behavior is akin to subtle psychological warfare. By systematically undervaluing your achievements and aspirations, these individuals create an imbalance in the relationship. It's a calculated move to ensure you remain in a position of self-doubt and diminished self-esteem, making you more susceptible to manipulation and control. In their eyes, your diminished self-worth elevates their status, solidifying their dominance in the relationship. Such disdainful remarks often reflect their insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. By belittling others, they mask their vulnerabilities and project a facade of superiority. Recognizing and understanding this pattern is crucial. It enables you to see through the superficial charm such individuals often wear and understand the underlying toxic dynamics of the relationship. It serves as a warning to either address the behavior directly, setting clear boundaries, or to distance yourself from such a toxic environment. 5. Using guilt as a tool. Individuals who resort to guilt as a tool of manipulation are skilled at twisting narratives and situations to their advantage. Picture a marionette puppeteer deftly pulling strings, making the puppet move and act against its will. In the hands of a manipulator, guilt becomes the string, and you, the puppet, are coerced into actions and decisions that serve their interests rather than your own. They may invoke past favors, obligations, or moral high ground to instill a sense of duty or indebtedness in you. This tactic is particularly insidious because it preys on your sense of responsibility and compassion. By making you feel guilty, they erode your autonomy and self-determination, steering you towards choices that benefit them at your expense. This guilt tripping can take many forms. It might involve reminding you of sacrifices they've made or the hardships they've endured, framing your reluctance to comply as a betrayal or lack of gratitude. They might use emotional outbursts or passive-aggressive remarks to underscore how your actions or decisions affect them, amplifying your sense of guilt. Recognizing this manipulation requires a clear understanding of healthy boundaries and a firm grasp of your own values and priorities. It involves questioning whether the guilt you feel is justified or if it's being artificially inflated to serve someone else's agenda. 4. Absence during difficult times. The true test of any relationship is its resilience and support during difficult times. A relationship where someone is consistently absent during your moments of need is akin to a bridge that collapses under the slightest weight. Their absence during your struggles reveals their true priorities and the superficial nature of their commitment. When challenges arise, and you find yourself facing emotional, financial, or practical difficulties, a genuine friend or partner will offer support, empathy, and assistance. However, someone who is only interested in what they can gain from the relationship will often disappear or become unavailable when their help is most needed. This behavior underscores a lack of genuine care and empathy, highlighting their self-serving nature. Their excuses for absence may vary, from being too busy to dealing with their own issues, but the pattern remains consistent. They are present when things are going well and there are benefits to be reaped, but vanish when the situation requires real emotional investment or sacrifice. Recognizing this pattern involves observing their behavior during both good and bad times. Are they only around when there is something to gain? Do they disappear or become distant when you need support? This inconsistency is a red flag indicating a lack of genuine commitment and care. 3. Conditional friendship or love. Conditional friendship or love is like a transactional agreement where affection, support, and companionship are given only if specific conditions are met. This dynamic reduces relationships to a series of exchanges rather than mutual, unconditional support. The person imposing these conditions views the relationship through a lens of utility and benefit, constantly evaluating what they stand to gain. This behavior manifests in various forms. They might withhold affection or support unless you conform to their expectations or demands. They may offer their time and attention only when it aligns with their interests or when they can derive some advantage. This conditionality creates an environment where you are constantly striving to meet their standards and expectations, often at the expense of your own needs and well-being. Recognizing this pattern involves understanding the nature of their support and affection. Are they there for you unconditionally, or does their presence depend on specific conditions being met? Do you feel a constant pressure to live up to their expectations to maintain their support? Conditional love or friendship undermines the foundation of trust and mutual respect in a relationship. It reduces interactions to a series of transactions, stripping away the genuine care and empathy that should define true relationships. 2. Disregard for boundaries. Disregarding boundaries is a clear indication of someone who views others more as resources to be exploited rather than individuals to be respected. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, providing a framework for mutual respect and understanding. When someone consistently disregards your boundaries, they demonstrate a lack of respect for your autonomy and well-being. This behavior can manifest in various ways. They might invade your personal space, demand your time and attention without consideration for your own needs, or push you to do things that make you uncomfortable. They may dismiss your attempts to set boundaries, viewing them as obstacles to their goals rather than essential aspects of a healthy relationship. Recognizing this pattern involves paying attention to how they respond when you set and enforce boundaries. Do they respect your limits and understand the importance of your autonomy, or do they push back, dismiss, or ignore your boundaries altogether? Their response reveals their true intentions and level of respect for you as an individual. 1. Reluctance to reciprocate. In any healthy relationship, there is a natural give and take, a balance of support, affection, and effort. Someone who consistently uses others as stepping stones exhibits a reluctance to reciprocate this balance. They are quick to take but slow, or unwilling to give in return. This reluctance manifests in various aspects of the relationship. They may eagerly accept your help, support, and generosity, But when it's their turn to offer assistance or show appreciation, they are noticeably absent or indifferent. This imbalance creates a dynamic where you are constantly giving, and they are constantly taking, leading to a sense of exploitation and inequity. Recognizing this pattern involves observing their willingness to offer support and reciprocate kindness. Are they as willing to help you as you are to help them? Do they show appreciation for your efforts and make an effort to give back, or do they take your generosity for granted? A relationship marked by a reluctance to reciprocate is fundamentally unbalanced and unsustainable. It highlights the other person's self-serving nature and lack of genuine commitment to mutual growth and support. Identifying and understanding these behaviors is crucial for recognizing toxic relationships and protecting your well-being. It empowers you to set boundaries, seek healthier connections, and prioritize relationships that are built on mutual respect, genuine care, and unconditional support.